if you think n8n is just about connecting few nodes together, then you are missing the most important detail. Most tutorials ends as soon as two services are connected, but in real world applications, that's not how automation works. So in this tutorial, we are not gonna see about how to connect two nodes, but also understand the technology behind it. In this video, we are gonna set up a workflow through which when a user submits a contact form in your website, the customer will receive an automated thank you email, and also your sales team will be notified instantly so that they can follow up with the lead without any delays. So first I will demonstrate the entire system. So this is the workflow we are gonna build. Initially it looks very simple, but there is more technical side to it than we realize. This is our company's website. Now I will scroll down to the contact page and I will submit this form now. Now I fill this form. Now I click on this submit. My form is submitted. So now we go to my email inbox and check out for new email. As you can see, we have received an email notifying about Nirayam Technologies received our contact info. So this is for client side. Also, when I go to this discard page, so this is our company's discard, and you can see it notified with a new website link. The message we sent. In this tutorial, we are only going to focus on how to build this n8n workflow. We are going to skip the part about how to create the website or how to connect it with Supabase. This will be our overall architecture for this workflow. As the user will submit the form to the company's website, then the form will be saved on Supabase. Then we will set up a database webhook trigger on the Supabase so that whenever a new data is added to the Supabase, our n8n workflow will get the data as HTTP post method. Then we will use that data to send email to the client and then notify our sales team in Discord. As for the tool side, we will use Supabase as our database to store the data from the client. As for automation, we are going to use n8n latest version, and for email API we are going to use resend. So if some of you are wondering what is n8n, n8n is an automation tool that is completely open source, which is used to connect different applications, APIs, databases, or even AI agents into single automated workflow. The best part of n8n is that you don't need to write hundreds of lines of code for integration between two apps. If you guys are wondering how n8n is created, the history of n8n, you can check out our previous video on our description below. So now I'm going to create a new workflow and I'm going to name it as tutorials email. So in n8n, every workflow starts with a trigger. You can click here and you can see various kinds of triggers, but fundamentally there are only three types of triggers in n8n. One is webhooks, other one is pollers, and last one is events. So for this tutorial, we are going to use webhooks. How webhook works is just listens to a specific URL and sits quietly. We don't use any resource, it just listens to a specific URL. In the external system, sends the HTTP request to that URL, the webhook wakes up instantly and executes. This webhook is used for real-time data processing, and it is efficient because on waiting time it doesn't consume any CPU resource. So here we are going to need on webhook call. So this receives a HTTP request. So here you can see two kind of URL. One is test URL and next one is post URL. So as the name suggests, the test URL is for testing purpose. This is the URL that going to help connect between n8n workflow and Supabase. And here you can see all the HTTP methods, and for this tutorial we need post method. Now I am going to copy this test URL. So if you want to test this webhook is working or not, you can just exit this workflow and go to your browser and paste this copied link. And as you can see, the webhook is not registered for GET request because we have configured our webhook for this post response. So I just change it to GET and exit this again and I refresh it. So as you can see, the webhook just started and we can see the headers, but it just doesn't have any body because we don't send any kind of data here. So I change this back to post request. Now I head back to integration page. First you need to set up the Supabase and create a database there. Here in this tabs there is integration tab, and here you can come over here on database webhooks. This is the webhook we are going to use. So here I already have two webhooks here, and I'm going to create another one. So my webhook name will be tutorial, and I need to select a database, and mostly it's in the public. This is my database. You can select your database in this list, and then I need to listen for every insert event. Whenever the user submits the data, it's going to be inserted into the database. So I'm going to listen to this insert event, and then type of webhook will be HTTP request and method will be post. And here in this URL I'm going to paste the URL we copied. So you can see this is just URL, and you can leave everything as it is and create this webhook. So now we created the webhook. Now I will just run this webhook and go over to my page and fill this form. Testing for tutorial. Yeah, you can see the webhook is working just fine. So in the body you can see the data we are receiving, the ID, the name, email, all the data the user submitted will be here. Before connecting the email node, we first understand what is transactional emails. So not every mail sent by an application is a newsletter or a promotion. Some emails are triggered because of user specific action, like when the user fills a form in our case, or the order confirmations, or the booking confirmation mail, or password reset and email verifications. So these kind of mails are called transactional mails. We could use the traditional SMTP mail service to send the emails, but there is a problem with it. Instead of the mails reaching out to the user's inbox, they might get into the spam folders. We could also connect our personal Gmail to the n8n to send transactional emails, but that's also not advisable because there's a chance that our inbox could be suspended. So that's why we are going into email APIs resend. Underneath, resend also uses the SMTP method, SMTP protocol, but they are configured in such a way so that your emails are delivered into the inbox rather than spam folders. So all you have to do is just create an account in resend. Go on to this API keys page and here create an API. So I will name it as n8n tutorial and then full permission and then domains. If you have a custom domain, we can set it in here. I will show you how to configure the domain in just a moment. This is your API key. You have to just copy it. Now we will add our custom domain here. Click on add domain and enter your domain here. And just click on add domain. It will get you to the configuration page. So here you have to add your DNS records to verify this domain belongs to you. You can go back to your n8n workflow and add the HTTP node. You can also use the resend node, but for now I'm going to use this HTTP node. And our HTTP method will be post. And for URL, you just have to copy paste this. So this is our API's endpoint, and then we have to add the authentication. So here I will add the generic credential type, and here I'm going to add bear as auth. I'm already having the account here, so in this bearer token, you have to paste the API key you copied from the resend and then click on save. Then switch on the send body parameter and we are going to add from to subject and our body here first. So let me add this, and now we have our data here, and first parameter is from, and here you can type your. Now let's add the body parameters. So first one will be our from field, and this from field you have to give your email address. So I'm going to give email address along with my company's name, and here I type no reply with custom domain name, and next field will be to field, and here I will just drag and drop this user's email, and next one will be subject. So form receive, resend expects HTML to be our body, so I will name it as HTML, and here we can write or style our email's content in HTML styles. So I'm just going to add h1 tag and say thanks for choosing Nirayam. Okay, now we have all our fields, and I'm just going to execute this step, and the node runs successfully, and here you can see we have received the email, and the text is styled in h1 style. So that's all about sending email to the users. So now we are going to add the discard node here. So for that, just click on here and search for discard, and add this node, and here we are just going to send a message. So in messages action I will add this send the message node, and here we have to add the bot token here. So first I will just connect this with this webhook on parallel branch so that both of them are independent. So let's head over to this discard, and I'm going to, here I have a tutorial category, and here I'm going to create a new channel, and I name it as n8n tutorial. Inside this channel, just come over to this integration page. Here you have Webhooks option. So this is kind of similar to the webhook we used on Supabase. So I'm going to create the webhook, and I'm going to name it as tutorial hook, and here you have to copy this webhook and save the changes. We will head over here, and here we are going to use this webhook. So using this webhook we can only write into a specific channel. So I'm going to add another account here. Just copy paste this URL and save it. Now for the message we are just going to add this new lead, and the lead's ID, name and email. You can just add whatever information you need to send into the discard. And I just execute this step, and now it turns into success, and I head over to this discard, and you can see the bot we created just put on the message. So now I'll just execute this workflow once again, and you'll just see now I have submitted the form, and you can see the whole webhook is completed, and here in discard we got this new message here, and here in the email, here in email we also got the message. So before you got to publish this, just go over the webhook and change it to protection, and just copy this and head over to your Supabase integration and edit this hook with and change this URL to this protection URL. That's it. We have built an event-driven automation using Supabase and n8n. Now every new record will automatically triggers the workflow and sends a confirmation email to the customer and alerts the team on Discord. If you find this tutorial is helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on n8n, AI automations, and lots of other technical stuffs. If you want any other specific n8n projects or any other projects we want to teach you, just let me know in comments. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to Nirayam Technologies.